telling people that there was nothing except for Phalaenopsis for sale near me, and then I was in the area in North York, and at the Loblaws they had some special variety orchids for sale. So I picked up a Dendrobium nobile. And they also had epidendrums, I believe. They were very tall and had many round leaves, and then the flower spikes were on very long spikes, and at the top was a round cluster of flowers. They had pink and they had red with yellow in the middle. And then they had these Dendrobium nobiles, and they had the color I picked up right here in front, and they had white with pink edges and yellow with black in the middle, and I believe another color. I will put in a clip near the end of the other orchids when I went shopping, and they were $25, and it came with a nice pot too. And this is seasonal, so they don't usually carry these, and I'm just in shock that I actually found something other than Phalaenopsis at my grocery store. So these are the blooms, and there's no idea that came with it, only this tag that kind of explains how to care for it for a couple days till it dies. So I can also say it does have a fragrance. It smells like honey when you're around it, and also I noticed the lip, when you touch it, it's kind of oily. So that's interesting. And I'm guessing it's a Dendrobium nobile because of the shape of the blooms and the fat canes and also the flexible leaves. So Miss Orchid Girl in one of her older videos explained how Dendrobium nobiles can be differentiated from Dendrobium phalaenopsis because of their flexible leaves. So I did the little thing she said, but I kind of snapped a couple leaves. I think I snapped these two. So right here and right there. And it looks like someone else tried too in the past. But I also want to just explain how this plant came. So it came with 10 blooms. These are 2 large fresh blooms, and another large one that is kind of damaged. I did ask for it to be wrapped, and that was free, but it still got a little damaged. And then it has these other 6 or 7 blooms that are smaller, and they're fading. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're all coming from this short cane right here. And then there's this large cane. So the short one does have a new growth. Then there's this large cane with no blooms and a damaged tip. And then there's this short cane with the nice blooms. And then it looks like there's a keiki on it. So I don't know if this is the next growth or if it's a keiki, but it looks like it's growing kind of right off the plant. And that also has new growth. And it is taller than the other 2 with blooms. So it appears to be a nobile. And I wanted a Dendrobium phalaenopsis, but they didn't have any, so I ended up buying the nobile, and I'm still really happy with it. So they had yellow and black, they had white with pink edges, and I believe another one. They only had one of this one left, and this one was the healthiest. So it had 2 new growths and 4 canes and many blooms, while the other ones had 2 or 3 bulbs or canes and maybe 3 flowers, 3 or 4 flowers each. So that's why I picked up this nobile. And then the epidendrums came in pink and then red with a little bit of yellow. And I didn't really want an epidendrum because, I don't know, I felt like it would be like hard to grow or something, and I really wanted to try out a Dendrobium. So this was the healthiest one, and I'm really happy with it. I'll show you the root system. So I made sure it had a healthy root system because when I bought my Cattleya at that specialty nursery, it actually didn't have any roots. So this one has plenty of roots, and it is packed in sphagnum. I'm going to move it to coconut husk and moss. And it had a couple coming up the drainage hole. And then there's plenty of aerial roots on top. And I also have to do the weeding, because there are clovers. So it's a really big plant. They did stake it with a metal stake and some tying material. So they're all staked like that except for one of the smallest ones there, right there. So that one's not staked. But it's a very well cared for plant, in my opinion. And I'm just hoping it'll do well for me. Also, I did clean the leaves with Orchid Whisperer's recipe. It's my favorite recipe. And I left one uncleaned just to show you how it was before. It had hard water stains on it, and after the solution it's really clean. And I did not find any bugs. But what I did find was the sap that you usually find on Phalaenopsis. There was some sap at the bottom of the leaves. And I'm pretty sure it's not from bugs. I'm pretty sure it's the sap to attract pollinators. Also shine the bulbs up, as you can see. And yeah, it looks really nice. And I'm happy it was only 25 and not 35 like the Cattleya. And also it came in the decorative pot. The Cattleya had a very small black pot and no decorative pot. So this was definitely a deal for me. And I look forward to caring for it.